Hi guys, how are you doing? What's going on here? Why am I like this? Perhaps it is because we're talking about things that have splintered us. Implants. Implants that create these realities that I'm not really even sure if they even, exist outside of our temporal bubble that we've created in our subtle energy field. So, what are implants, right? So I talk about implants a lot because they are things that we have taken on. They are from subtle energy, and that we're using them most of the time. Now, sometimes there's something that was implanted on us by an entity, an outside force, something like that. But most of the time, it's something that we have employed to permanently negate and counteract something that's going on that we just don't know how to functionally deal with. And so we kind of self-heal, and we create these self-healing implants, and they get into our meridians and they block our energy flow. And oftentimes I find that once you've removed them, you think you've removed them, they kind of float up and they get stuck in this chakra right here that's behind the ear, and that blocks a lot of the third eye, crown chakra, Alta major. All of that gets kind of messed up because this chakra that's behind the ear, it kind of rides up and it gets in that triangle, and then it blocks a lot of this knowledge and energy and healing and downloads and all of these other things that we are really trying to focus on in order to have this really balanced, energetic, happy, healthy life. So, hey Susie, how you doing? So, I have been working with energy pretty much as long as I can remember in this life. I wasn't verbal about it for a very, very long time because I was already the weird enough kid, right? So who wants to be weirder? I didn't want to be weirder. But so many people that I've worked with, it's like they've got all of this energetic crap that they are dealing with, and they really can't see it. But I virtually can see and feel and sense this negative imbalance in people. And so my feeling was that I really wanted to start teaching people how to heal themselves and teaching people about these things, because that awareness is huge in the manner of trying to figure out what's going on. And so we're often very oblivious to what's going on here. And we don't really understand what we've created here, because we were just trying to do good for ourselves, right? We were just trying to self-heal. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I'm not a weirdo. And you've known me probably the longest out of you and one other friend, out of all of my friends of my lifetime. So that means a ton to know that you love me and that you don't think I'm a weirdo. So with the implants, there is this sense that we do little tiny ones. We do little quick fixes. And so it's a lot of beliefs, and it's a lot of trying to reverse judgments almost. So we're trying to reverse this judgment that we have, and so in order to reverse the judgment, we make another judgment on top of that, and then that kind of impacts into this little piece of energy that just gets trapped. And so we generally, it's somewhere in our energy field. You often can feel it, if you suddenly have a weird knee pain, but you don't have any problems with your knee. or you have like this weird thing like in your, like right over here, but there's nothing wrong and the doctors can't find anything and you can't get a diagnosis. Oftentimes that is energy, that subtle energy field, and it has implanted in there. And so you really have to work through it. You can work through it some with energy healing. So I know that a lot of things will get loosened up by working with someone that works with the energy fields. So a light worker, somebody that does Reiki, somebody that facilitates like removing some of that belief that you've created that's like stuck to that other energy, making that judgment and that new belief an implant. So you have to do some cross-talking through what's going on with you and what's going on with your body, because you are not your body, you are in your body. Your body is its own being. It's really funny. So my body loves to dance, and for a long time I wasn't dancing, and so now we've started dancing. And like my body, when I try to dance, like when I'm trying to be the one dancing, like it's like, you know, Seinfeld, like Elaine, and it's like sad. But if I let my body lead me and just say, okay, I know that you know what you're doing, it's fantastic. My body knows what it's doing. But we have to cross-talk through the cellular and the energetic subtle field of our body. And we have to kind of weave our way through trying to find where is that signal interference and how do we remove it. Now, you might find when you're dealing with something like this that you start having an imbalance of your nutritional body as well, because it can get impacted in those methylation pathways. You might have extreme exhaustion. You might have just this longing to sleep and fatigue. You might end up having like this roller coaster of emotional breakdowns. And all of this is because you're experiencing this reality of the energy not flowing properly. So if we think about, like, the easiest way to think about energy that people do is you think about energy in that like infinity figure eight, right? So it's flowing and it's going and it's flowing. But if you suddenly had something stuck somewhere in that infinity, it's going to go and then it's going to stop. And it might be able to wiggle through depending on how big it is, and then it's going to go and then it's going to stop. And so that's what we're dealing with, and it starts to lower your frequencies. And so when you're dealing with implants, it's really, really important then to be trying to think gratitude and blessings and love and light, and trying to eat all of those high vibrational foods so that you are really allowing your body to have all the tools it needs to kind of work against this. And you're not alone. This is happening to everybody. Everybody goes through these implants. And so the more you do to kind of raise yourself up, raise your vibrations up, then the easier it is for your body to help you release that negative energy out of your subtle energy field. I work a lot with quantum biofeedback. And so during a quantum biofeedback session, we're actually looking at your body and we are listening to the tones coming out, the frequency coming out of your body, and we're gauging your subtle energy field while we're doing that to see where these implants are impacting you and what sort of things you can do to support the body and support the energy fields to clear them. So we like to resonate with low energy because it's here in the ground, it's grounding. We are pulled to it via gravity. However, it does nothing for our infinite being. The low frequencies, we have to stay somewhat grounded because those low frequencies, they are what help the body to balance out with having all of this infinite energy in it. So there is a reasoning for grounding and, walking out into your yard with your bare feet and doing like chakra balancing to make sure that you're staying connected to the earth and not just living way up here in these upper vibrations. And so we really do need to have that connection to that somewhat lower vibration, but we don't want to live in the lower vibrations. We don't want to feed the body the lower vibrations. The body just needs it for the balance. The body just needs it for the connection to Mother Earth. The body just needs it for that sort of creation. It does not need it for any of the subtle energy work. So, if you think about how energetic the world seems to be getting on both spectrums, it can be really easy to be drawn away from the higher frequency into the lower frequencies, and then you become overabundant. It's kind of like if we're talking about being in balance with your hormones. So let's think about that. So if you are of my age and you don't have a lot of estrogen being produced the way that it was produced before. Now your body can still produce estrogen. It's just not producing it the way that it was produced before. So there are things you can do. Like one of the things I like to support my body with to support that sort of deficiency is I like to use organic soy products. I like to use clary sage essential oil and things that are going to support my body to kind of bridge that gap where I don't have that estrogen. But we're in a world where we have an abundance of negative estrogen that's like bad estrogens, and they get in your body. So you have to balance that with taking a supplement like DIM, because that will help pull the bad estrogens out of your body. Keep you balanced. Another thing to keep you balanced is like suma root, maca powder, all very balancing for the hormones. So you're not going to go into, like if you go into hormone replacement therapy and you just do estrogen, your body's going to be whacked, because you, as a woman, you need testosterone. As a woman, you need progesterone, especially, oh my gosh, progesterone, calming, de-stress, balancing. It is that like first hormone of big support when you're pregnant. So if you go into it with just estrogen, kind of like if you go into the thyroid support and all you're doing is T4, you're going to probably leave your body, in most cases, whacked out. So when we're thinking about this on the energy field, you have to be balancing everything. You have to be thinking about the air that you're breathing in, the mindset that you're taking on, the foods that you're eating, the supplements that you're taking. All of these are operators in your like entire matrix. And so you have to make sure that you're aligning it all and that you're not blocking things, because when you are blocking the things, then you're programming things that are based on like trauma and false karmic like energy, and a lot of it is, again, like I said, it's just a belief. I've been working with an amazing mentor the last few months, and so I'm going to be teaching others how to do complete belief clearings. So I'm really excited about helping people to shift there, because you figure that these effects are not just from us. We know from epigenetics that these effects are coming from ancestral beliefs too, that were seeded in us, that we have taken on as our own. And so we forget that we are of the source light, and that we are just physically made up of energy, and that's why our source light can impact our energy body, our physical being so much. And we forget that we have this natural system. Like, I always talk about our body as a machine, and it's the same way with our energy being and the energy of our body. It's a very simple sort of machine that we can improperly label, and then we cause ourselves all kinds of like wackiness. And so we start like looking for false light ideologies to help us, and they're based on fear and attachment, a lot of dependencies. And so we look for that false light rather than stopping for a minute and thinking and listening to ourselves and determining, is it truth? Does it feel light? Does it feel good? Does it feel like what we're here for? Does it feel like it stems out of purpose? Or does it feel like it stems out of like just darkness and shadows? And we blindly follow a lot of this stuff and a lot of these beliefs. Like, find me a kid from my generation that didn't look at 17 magazine and think to yourself, that is what I am supposed to look like, that is who I'm supposed to be, that's what I am supposed to be listening to, that is who I am supposed to be. Yeah, and then we believed it, and when we believed it, we created implants. And so I have been really, for myself, unwinding a lot of these implants that I believed in. And I know that they kind of sneak up on us, and we have to start working and thinking about that deepest level of creator energy, because we are all, every single one of us, we are a piece of that creator energy. When I was attuned, well, one of my attunements, I've had many, one of my attunements, which was a Kundalini attunement, I actually saw my energy body being born. And I saw myself come out of, like, it almost was like an energetic box. And I came out of it, and I was all of these, I could see all the colors, all the molecules, all the energy. And then I saw myself wrapping myself, like my arms around like the legs of my Father, of God, as He was creating the entire universe. And I looked out, and I was so excited to see all of the things that He was creating for us. And then I saw myself as a full energy being, like just soaring through all time, space, and dimensions, just soaring through it, loving it, connecting to it, and just being one with it. And then we come here and we get in a body, and we're like, I am a little box. I am a little box. This is my size. And the only way I can expand is to either grow tall or expand out. There's, these things that we think that we have to do because we get into this box mentality, and we forget that it's just energy, and that we are thinking in terms of physical reality rather in terms of the source creator energy. And so the first thing you can do about implants is you can start to initiate sparks of connection to that light. So you can start blossoming and listening to and instinctively like moving towards things that are very light and they feel very healing, and they really like they raise you up and they bring you joy. That's all creator energy. And so you are instinctively going to know it and you're going to feel it. And if you struggle with that, you can use some energy techniques, and you can kind of ask your body, because our body is just energy, and so it's tapped right in. Our body has no judgments. Our body, hear that again, your body has no judgments. Your body loves itself. Your body enjoys this life. Your body is just moving along. There's nothing, it's just doing its job. Oh, you've got a lot of energy. Well, let me give you some cells that you can store it in, because you're not using it, so I'm going to store it for you for later. Like sugar and pasta and bread and energy and beliefs and implants. Your body doesn't have judgment about it. It's just doing what it does. But we have the judgment. We are the ones that we get away from this creator energy. And so you have to stop and think to yourself. So you go, okay, is this for me? And your body will instinctively lean a little bit. And if it's leaning a little bit forward, it's saying, I like that. It's like it's trying to grab it. I want to grab that. If it leans a little bit back, it's like it's trying to escape it. No, I don't want that. No. And it's not necessarily out of judgment that it doesn't want it, but it can energetically feel that it's not a good polarity for it. It's not aligning to it. It's not meshing up to the energy field, to the subtle energy field and all of the energy of the body. And so it's saying, that doesn't really match. Are you sure you want that? I mean, if you do, go for it, girl, and I'll just take care of it. But, I don't know that that's for you. And so that's what we do. So when you start to really love yourself, love your body, because your body loves itself, so why shouldn't you? So love your body, forgive yourself for any of the nonsense that you've done in this life, and just basically start living in the creator energy. That's going to start to loosen up a lot of those implants. So then once you get working with that, then you can actually do some of that clearing that we are going to work with, where it's like you're rewiring brain pathways, because the brain pathways are very connected into where the subtle energies come in. And so as you reconnect those brain pathways connect to that vagus nerve, and that vagal nerve system comes down throughout your body. It attaches to every single organ, your stomach, all the way down your autonomic nervous system. And so it's like a little domino effect, where this domino of energy starts to take place. And then that connects into all of the meridians connect into that vagal nerve. And so then it starts connecting into the meridians, and the meridians connect to your chakras, and your chakras connect to your complete aura field. And so it's a cascade of joy and light that will be able to remove things, and it's just vibration. It's just vibration. And so the work that we're doing, this vibration, it starts to lift you. It starts to be something that you then will start reaching outside of yourself for. And so, whatever you want to believe in Holy Spirit, Source, Creator, God, whatever creator energy that you want to believe in, that is what this system, this pathway is energetically created from and tapped into. And if you can use that energy in these energetic pathways, it's going to impact emotionally, physically, mentally, every bit of your life. And there's a really great quote. It says, by believing God is outside of us, then we are able to be cut off from it. So if you want to believe that you are not connected to this sort of amazing energy of source that we come from, then you're going to be cut off from it. And that's going to impact your body, because we come from this and we are of this. And when we start working as a body and not as a spirit, and not being loving and kind and caring and connected and joyful, then we don't have that good flow of energy. Then we don't have those good flowing pathways. Then things start to get created that get stuck, and that energetic toxicity will stay just long enough, and then it will start causing physical pain. And our brain doesn't understand the sustained pain threshold, and so it really starts to kind of create, it's like the autoimmune. Your body gets off kilter, right? Your body gets off kilter because of something that's out of balance, and then it starts reacting, and it starts creating consequences. And so when you serve your fellow neighbor, when you smile at someone when you're in the store, when you say, oh, I am so grateful for this life that I'm leading, these are all the things that are going to bring that energy source into your body and keep you from being distracted and creating implants through judgments rather than through spirit. So here's another thing to remember. If you're working with implants and false energy, right, false beliefs, it's always going to connect into logic brain. It doesn't connect in heart brain. We have 3 brains: gut brain, logic brain, heart brain. Heart brain has a gazillion wonderful neurons there to love and share with you and tell brain what to do. But logic brain believes what you are telling it. Logic brain cannot transmute energy. You can only transmute energy and transmute implants through the emotional heart brain. You have to have the truth of belief. You have to have the heart, that heart vibration to transmute the energy. That is because that is our spark to source. Our spark to source starts with our heart. And so if you start using just that logic brain and just feeding the beliefs to it, feeding those implants to it, then you're losing the spark. And then it starts connecting to the body systems and the body tissues, and the energy starts working its way through different parts of your body and impacting and impulsing different emotions. So I had a huge energy attunement this last weekend, and after it was over, there's this little sort of like ebb where you're trying to, you've gotten rid of, like I've said, a lot of it, and then some of that emotion has gotten stuck. And you get that emotion stuck right here. Stuck emotions right there. I mean, when you do that with me. Put your hands right here, right behind your ears, and just do a gentle circular motion. Doesn't that feel so great? Now tell me, as you're doing it and you're feeling this great motion, do you start feeling your heart? Do you feel your heart chakra opening up? That energy, that tingling. That is removing implants. That's removing the last little bits and pieces of those implants that have gotten stuck there. That's one simple trick that you can do after any time that you've had energy work to start moving it along. That is why massage therapy is so fantastic after that, or I'll get on my vibration plate. Moving the lymph along actually helps move along all of that energetic waste that you are trying to get rid of. It's like almost like this sort of like magnetic functional bit of the body where the body, so our lymph system doesn't have a heart. It doesn't flow the way that our veins, our blood does through the heart. Our heart moves all of that along. But our lymph system just kind of sits there. So when we're dealing with all of this stuff, it can get stuck. And doing that little massage can help you to unstick some of it. Getting on the vibration plate can help to get things moving along. What else do I want to say? So, a lot of times things will start moving, and then we'll have something that'll happen like planetarily, and we'll get some of that higher frequencies from like a flare on the sun or a planet getting closer to us. We talk about like Mercury in retrograde and all of that. And so what will happen there is the low implants, which are going to be things like they say, when the moon is full, that's when you are supposed to be doing like your parasite cleansing, because that's when the parasites are more active. And so it's the same thing, that energy gets into your auric field, and then it's almost like the parasites of energy everywhere. Like you're suddenly open up to it, especially if you're really in tune to being empathic and you can feel it coming at you. We're all empathic. We're all going to have that pull of the energy at these sort of times. But some people will take that energy and then they will become like, reach out and try to harm others through it, rather than reaching out and harming themselves. Empaths harms in turn. They want people that see themselves as empaths, they will internally harm themselves and negative self-talk and create more judgments and more beliefs based on that energy coming in. People that are not in tune to it will take that energy and they will lash out at their kids, and they will lash out at their coworkers, or they will lash out at people online. So that's why if you can find that balance in the middle, where you can realize what is happening on a vibrational energetic level and use your heart work and transmute that energy, then it doesn't have the ability to create an implant that you have to get rid of later. Does that make sense? And so we carry around a lot of like heavy energetic weight, and I can see it when I see someone that's a light worker and they are really overweight. I know immediately they are eating other people's energy. They are taking in their energy. They are taking in their weight. They're taking their burden. And then they think they have to carry it. But you don't have to carry it. Ugh. I have the gag reflex when my body says yes. Let's transmute that. Oh, all of you. I can feel that you're getting this. Oh, so let's release that. Let's all release that. Let's all release that. You don't have to carry that burden. You don't have to carry that for them. That is not your job. Let's transmute all of that belief out of your system, okay? Let's get rid of that. Here, let's do a little support to that lymph system. Let's get rid of that. You do not have to carry that burden. You do not have to do that. That is not your job to carry that burden. I might have to do like a whole like tapping like thing maybe next week on that, because that was big. All of you are carrying that. All of you that are like listening right now are those kind of people that are like, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help. And what you're doing energetically is that by trying to help, you're carrying their burden, and it's not to be carried, it's to be transmuted. If you can transmute it, heck yes, transmute it. That's what you need to do. If you have tuned into that ability, you need to transmute that energy. But don't allow it to sit on you and to like overcome you and to start creating other judgments and implants and labels on yourself by carrying it. You could carry it in your knees. You might be carrying it in your hips. You might be carrying it in your brain, which can be really damaging. So you need to transmute that energy. You just need to keep telling yourself and just filling in that heart chakra and just saying, I love this body. This body doesn't need to carry that energy. This body can transmute it. Transmute it and clear it and delete it from all time, space, dimensions, and realities, because it is not yours to carry. If you don't know how to do that, just ask to return it to Mother Earth. Mother Earth knows how to transmute it. Mother Earth will do it for you. You just have to ground yourself and send that energy back to Mother Earth. Oh, send it. So, if we think about the vagus nerve, it's almost like running through that autonomic nervous system. It is a like control rod, and it's a channel for all of this energy, for all of this implants and things that we're dealing with. And so I think that's why we get so many back and neck problems, is because it is this like energetic manipulator, and it is going through these neural pathways and physically moving a lot of this energy from port to port. And a lot of times when you look at like the aura, if you do like an aura photo or something, you will see this energy on it on the outside, loving and wonderful. It's through that energetic like rod where you start seeing all of the different out of balance areas. And so you have to know that to shut a lot of that down, you have to make sure that you're activating that solar plexus, and that will kind of remove that control rod from blocking out the creator source energy and allow it to instead transmute and move it. And so I think that, again, that's why people are being drawn to like chiropractors and acupuncture and massage therapists, because we are looking for ways to manipulate the energy and to release the blockages, and we don't even really realize that that's what we're doing. So also I see one of the biggest problems I see energetically, physically in the world today is gallbladders. And so the liver, so functionally, if we talk about the liver's job is to metabolize. It metabolizes things. And sometimes it stores nutrients like vitamin D so that you can have it later. So if we have all of this negativity and heavy metals and toxins and pollution and other people's thoughts, and it's all coming in, and your liver is supposed to say, oh, here, gallbladder, here's what you need to digest all of that wonderful micronutrients and macronutrients that this body needs. Well, what ends up happening is that it stops functionally supporting the gallbladder. And when it stops functionally supporting the gallbladder meridian becomes this chatterbox to the brain. So it's chattering and chattering at the brain. And so it starts creating this like sludge, this energetic sludge. And then your body might create different types of stones, and your body might start replicating these memorized frequencies and start like taking other mini implants and pulling them all together, and you will stop digesting, and then you go in to have your gallbladder out. And when you go in to have your gallbladder out, then what happens? Oftentimes they cut through your vagus nerve. And now because they've cut through your vagus nerve, now you have just lost a huge energy conductor in your body. So the better source, right, would be to go ahead and make sure that you are, hey, how about I support my liver? How about if I support my my gallbladder? How about if I use like some digestive bitters so that I'm helping my body to break down those nutrients while it's trying to heal itself? I think that's the whole, I feel like that's the whole idea behind this this whole celery juice thing that's going on, is that it is very energetically able to get in there and help break down those nutrients while we're trying to heal our liver so that the gallbladder will quit freaking out and sending rapid fire chit-chat messages to the brain, which is blocking your heart. It's blocking all of that inner voice from having it say, oh, and that one feels really strong too. Like, you guys are like, so many people right now are having this problem and blocking that heart energy, that source creator energy. And they're doing this, and they are replicating and creating like mega implants, and then they're having these surgeries, and then after they're having these surgeries, then they are having no energetic conductor, and things just start spinning out of control. And so you can do, there is electronic, if you've had your vagus nerve cut, there is some electronic stimulation that they can do for it. But the things that will help you to kind of stimulate the areas of the nerve are meditation, breathing, laughter, There's all these like wonderful things you can do to get out of that whole like monkey mind, right? And so those are the things that you can do. And when you get out of that monkey mind, you start liberating your heart, and you start repairing the energetic damage that was done through both emotional, misplaced low vibrational connections, empathic transfers, all of these things that we've programmed into ourselves and that we really are distracted using. And so, you know, it's interesting because we are so tapped in to the physical body, and yet we're so not tapped in to the physical body. We just do not get it. So we're being played. We're being played and manipulated by what we are interpreting as reality. And physical symptoms we're interpreting as being reality. If you've read The Biology of Belief, that you know that we are just interpreting these things, and that the truth is that it's just a perception, it's just a point of view, and that you can treat. It's fantastic that we have Eastern and Western support tools that we can treat physical symptoms with. But if you're not treating the energetic being, then you're just out of luck. I was cold when I came in here, but now I'm warming up. And that's funny because you would think that Spirit would cool me down, but Spirit does blow a little cold air at me to let me know that it's there, my spirit guide. But no. It is, I do get hot and cold and hot and cold, and I'll have to put my jacket back on and then take it back off, and it's just my body trying to physically understand the different, like, energy fields that it's sensing. So let's see if there's a message for us going forward for today. So Spirit says to partake in the joy of laughter at every red light. So what can you do to give yourself some like ha-ha-has? Even if you do it fake. Like my friend June, who lives in Utah, she her business is Embodied Results. She does laughter like coaching. And so part of it is that you can just like laugh even if it's fake. Right? And it sends vibrations through your body. Like, I already feel it. Oh, tingly. That's so great. So try that. Try some of the fake laughter if you need to. It'll help clear things out of your throat chakra, which is really important. Also, I got a message of Melissa says hello, but I almost think that was for me. So maybe that's for you, but I felt like that was for me. So does anyone have any questions before I disengage and go off and do my day of duties? And the reason I say day of duties is because I have somebody coming to crawl into my attic and my my crawl space today. I don't think they're going to find anything. See, the other day, I came into my front room and my two windows were covered with cluster flies. No joke. And it was terrifying. And I sprayed them with my Echo Bug Spray, and I vacuumed them up. I really did. I vacuumed them up. But I feel like they were there sending this message of transformation. But just in case there's a dead thing somewhere in my house, I smudged everything and I'm bringing them in to go look around. So that's what my day of duties consists of today. Oh, so is there anything that anyone wants to add or question? I don't know if I'm seeing anything. I guess I can go to Facebook this way and go to here. Okay, so Tina says she can hear me, but she can't see me at the present. Is that because of my video, or is that... Okay, I'm going to turn my volume down really quick on my regular computer. And I'm going to see if I can see. Yeah, it was really gross. Okay, so I can see myself, I think. Yeah, I can see myself. All right, maybe you just can't see me because you're not looking at the thing. Maybe that's what you were trying to say. Spirit guide, do you want to step forward? Thank you. Someone is trying to eliminate debt. In order to eliminate that debt, you're going to have to liberate your mindset, liberate that heart. You really need to balance. You need to balance the grabs for the already able abilities. Like, I have this feeling like you're grabbing for things, trying to fix things, is what I'm being shown. You know, it's like that. What I'm being shown is like that game show where you like have the shopping cart and you gotta pile all the different things in your shopping cart. And I'm being shown that as long as you keep grabbing, you're not working on the actual energetic obstruction, and you are totally blocking out the ability for manifesting that abundance. And I'm feeling a very closed off throat chakra in someone right now. Like you're almost, there's someone you want to talk to, but you're almost afraid to do it. Oh. That was a big one. Wiping my hands clear of that. So whoever it is that's having that constricted throat chakra, I feel like it's manifesting a lot in the right side of the head, you know, in the ear and neck area. And you just have to break through and have that conversation, because you are obstructing your ability to vocalize what you desire You are blocking off that energy. It's like you have cut off your heart completely. And the only one in control now is monkey brain. Monkey brain. Here, let's tap our monkey brain. Monkey brain. Ooh. Down, back behind the ears. Up on top of the head. Down, back behind the ears. Back to the top of the head. Let's get the third eye. Go across. Third eye. Back around to those implants. Let's get right here. Let's get those. Oh yeah, get that throat chakra. Back behind the ears. Go back here. Get your throat chakra. Back behind the ears. How does that feel? Do you feel like you're more able to go have that conversation now? I hope so. Let's see. You're swimming in it here in Alabama. Are you swimming in the inability to open up your heart chakra, or is it something, the empathic negative energy? I feel like my bangs are driving me crazy. They're touching my face. There we go. Now they're out of my face. So I'm being told to tell you to move to Baton Rouge. I don't know if that's where. I know that we've talked in the past about you're moving. I don't even know. Where is Baton Rouge? In Louisiana. So there's something you need. I'm not necessarily saying that pick up your whole family and move to Baton Rouge, but there is something in Baton Rouge that is belongs to you. It's connected to your bank, connecting to your money. Because what it actually said was, it said that your bank, your money is at the wrong bank. Move to Baton Rouge. I don't know what that means, but to me it's kind of showing a sense of where something to do with your money right now is being disrespected. And so there's something connected to Baton Rouge where that's what it's saying you need to do. I just felt someone, Brad. And Brad says to me, almost like an Elvis sort of tone, baby. Hey, baby. Loves your lipstick color. Wishes he was here kissing you right now. But when you feel sometimes that pressure, like right on your cheek, that's actually kisses from the other side. And he's showing me a dog that reminds me of one of these movies, like a cream colored, like lab or retriever. And he's saying, take care of that dog. That was my boy, that's my, you know, or whatever, that's my best friend, sort of a thing. So, take care of that dog. Well, the good thing is, Tina, is that you can go back and watch it later, right? So, all right. I'm going to clear all of that, and I'm going to get out of here. I want you guys to start working on clearing out those implants and really working with that source creator energy, and find things that are joyous, find things that you can have gratitude for, find things that spark love in your life. When you start feeling things coming up, make sure that you are moving them along, doing things for your lymphatic system to get things physically moving in your energy field. Do things to support that vagus nerve, and then we'll talk more later. I'm going to be doing a live on the 24th about my new energy program. And in my energy program, we will actually be like working like together and doing exercises and belief clearings, and I'll be teaching you techniques, and I'll be teaching you how to use like the Reiki energy and other light energies and tapping. And so on the 24th at 4 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to do a little thing to cover that, and then I will go ahead and come back on for a Q&A after I do the presentation, because I'm not quite sure yet how to use Facebook when you're doing a presentation, how to go back into this like hello here I am mode. So I will end the presentation, and then I will come back to answer questions. It's called Awaken Transcendence is my program that I'm going to be doing, where I'm actually going to be coaching and training you to find this connection to your spirit guide, to start to listen to your own being, to be able to start sensing where the energy is disrupted in your body and how to work with that. How nutrition can play into it, how aromatherapy can play into it, how different other techniques can play into it. And I'm going to teach all of that in this program that I'm doing. And so I'm going to talk about that on the 24th. Again, write it down. 4 p.m. Pacific is when I'm going to do that. And then hopefully you will be on here and you can learn a little bit more about that. So I hope you guys have a really great day. I'm going to go deal with the guy coming to take care of making sure that there's not like some dead squirrel up in my attic or something. I still think that those flies were saying, hey, transformation time. Just letting you know, new beginning. But who's to say? Better to be safe than sorry, right? Right. Okay. Love you guys. Have a great day. And thanks for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.